الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وآله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهداه. Jabir ibn Samurah, may Allah be pleased with him, he said that I saw the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam on a cloudless night where the moon was full, and he was wearing a red suit of clothes. So I started looking at him as well as the moon. So looking at him, looking at the moon, and for he is indeed more beautiful in my opinion than the moon. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Also, Al-Bara ibn Azib was asked, may Allah be pleased with him, was the face of the Prophet of Allah alayhi salatu wassalam like the sword? He said no, it was rather like the moon. What is all of this? You see, those who asked about if the Prophet's face was like the sword, they meant in how tall it was, or they meant how shiny it was. It was radiating light. And when we say radiating light, this is a figure of speech, not that in a dark room the Prophet would lit, alayhi salam. This is not logical and not reported ever. But it means that when you see certain people, you can see light radiating from their faces. You can see the glow. And this is obvious among us Muslims. SubhanAllah, people you look at, you see darkness. And others, you see light. So, was he like the sword? He said no. He was like the moon. And was he like the sun? No. He was like the moon. So he was both bright and round. And the moon is usually used when describing the beauty of a person, because this is what people consider. Nobody says, oh, this guy is so handsome as the sun. No, he may glow, he's as bright as the sun, but when it comes to beauty, we usually use the moon for that. And the Prophet ﷺ also was praised by his companions. They thought that he was the most beautiful and handsome thing on earth due to their love to the Prophet ﷺ. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, he said that the Prophet ﷺ was white, as if he were fashioned from silver with loosely curled hair. And again, we said that the Prophet's hair ﷺ was not crispy curly, and it was not lang and straight, so it was in between. But he was white ﷺ, as if he was fashioned from silver. And this shows you again the glow that he had alayhi as-salatu was-salam. And in the following hadith, the hadith of Jabir ibn Abdullah radiyallahu anhuma, may Allah be pleased with him and with his father, he said that the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the prophets were presented to me. When was that? Either in a night vision, or most likely in the glorious night journey, which we all know about in the seerah, when the Prophet ﷺ was taken to Jerusalem, to Bayt al-Maqdis, and then ascended to the seventh heaven. In that miraculous journey, night journey, the Prophet says ﷺ, that all the prophets were presented to me. And this shows you the status of the Prophet ﷺ to Allah Azza wa Jal, where he brought all the prophets and messengers to be presented in front of him alayhi salatu wassalam. Then he went on to describe what he saw. There was Musa, or Moses, peace be upon him, a specimen of the men of distinction. In Arabic it says ضرب من الرجال. This translates into an average person between the two. Neither he's fat, neither he's skinny. So again, moderation in built and being an average. So he was a specimen of the men of distinction, as if he were among the men of pure lineage and manly virtue, shanu'ah. And this is a tribe. And the tribesmen of this tribe, they're usually described as being clean in lineage and clean in the way they dress and in behavior, and having the best of etiquette. So the Prophet ﷺ is both indicating that Moses was average in built, neither fat nor skinny, and at the same time as if he was one of the tribesmen of Shanua who had a beautiful characteristic all over the place. And then he said, alayhi salatu wasalam, I also saw Isa, Jesus, the son of Mary, peace be upon him, and the nearest I've seen in resemblance to him was Urwa ibn Mas'ud, the companion. So the Prophet ﷺ is trying to give a similarity of how Isa looked to the companions, and they can relate with this companion Urwa ibn Mas'ud. I also saw Ibrahim, peace be upon him, the father of all prophets and messengers, and the nearest I've seen in resemblance to him is your companion, meaning yours truly. So the closest to resemble Ibrahim is our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam. I also saw Jibril, peace be upon him, the Archangel Gabriel, and the nearest I've seen in resemblance to him is Dihya al-Kalbi, may Allah be pleased with him. He was a very handsome companion, known to all companions, and whenever the Archangel Jibril came to the Prophet ﷺ in the human form, he came in the shape of Dihya al-Kalbi. هذا والله أعلم ونسبة العلم إليه أسلم وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.